Of course, 1 lesson 66 has us multiplying mixed numbers. We've multiplied fractions. Mixed numbers won't be terribly different. We're just going to combine some of the skills that we already have. If I were to tell you, I've got a classroom and there are groups of 2, and I have 4 groups of 2 kids. How many students are in my whole class? If I have 4 groups of pairs, 4 pairs, that's just equal groups problem, right? And if I have 2 in each group and there's 4 groups, what operation? To find the total number of students, you multiply that and say I got 8 total students, just an equal groups problem. So if we use mixed numbers, it doesn't change what we're doing there. If I were to say I've got 4 pieces of yarn that are each 1.5 inches, how long was the original piece before I cut it? Again, let's equal groups, multiply the length of each individual smaller cut piece of rope times how many there were, 4. How do I find a product? How do I multiply when there's a mixed number like this one? You're going to want to change this the way we've learned into a top-heavy fraction that is not simplified by multiplying 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3, right? So we've got 3 over 2 times 4. And this I can multiply. Maybe you even prefer to see it where we have a denominator for the whole number, which is for a whole number always going to be 1. And we just multiply across, right? 12 over 2. So there was a 6-inch, or whatever label I had been using, length of yarn before I cut it into 4 that were each 1.5 inches long. 1, 2, 3, 4. This was all 6 inches. This is what I just did. Equal groups. Should have used my orange to show that final operation, right? That's the great part. It's all the same 3-step processes we'd already learned. Let's try multiplying without a word problem. Let's just try, I don't know, 5 3/4, why not? Times, let's do another mixed number, 2 1/3. Sure. Do we need common denominators? Do we split up the whole in fraction numbers? No, because we're multiplying. It's different that way. You don't have to go through those steps. What you do need are fractions, because we don't want it split up into whole and fraction. We don't like mixed numbers, so I'm going to keep my color coding. We want to shape these so that they're top heavy. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 3 is 20 3/4, is the same value as 5 3/4, but shown as all just a numerator and denominator. And this one comes to 7/3, right? 7 over 3. Now I can solve. 23 times 7, I might need to break that up over here with some work. 161 over 12. I wonder, I just made this out of my head. I really don't know. I forgot to change my color. Operate was green, right? You got 161, and then I would use orange, I guess, to show you simplify, if I can. If I add up the digits here, that's worth 8. And that doesn't look like it's divisible by much, but I don't know how much that helps me. I guess I maybe check this on a calculator. Why not? Can I divide that evenly? No. So my answer is done. We're multiplying mixed numbers. You put it in the right shape. You perform the operation, multiplication in this case, and you simplify if there can be any simplification. Here's that equal groups number with some different numbers. Here's how they multiply 2.5 times 1 1/3. We call the numerator and denominator the terms of a fraction. That's good reminders. I do like this visualization, quick, to finish today. How they they show how this is reasonable. If I say 2.5 times 3.5, I think is what we're doing here. Yeah, product of 2.5 and 3.5. They illustrate for us. Why is it reasonable to say that's 8 3/4? We can visualize by making a 4x3 square grid here and shade 1, 2.5 on one side, 2.5, and shade 3.5, 1, 2, 3.5, and then shade all that in, and it shows that if you add all this up, you get, I should change colors quickly. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 7. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 8. And I've got 1/2 and 1/4 here left, which is worth 3/4. So it's 8 3/4. So you can actually show it with a grid. Pretty cool. Be ready to do that in case the book ever wants you to. And I like that illustration. I like when they give us things to look at and see it in front of us with our own eyes. So why don't you pick 4 of these, please? And that'll be good enough for me today. Good luck.